Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are doing well today. We're flying in P3D, believe it or not, and I decided to come back to the 777. This has a few reasons. One, I'm pretty sure, it doesn't matter which one, but one of the 777s is very close to release. Either the flight factor, which I think is going to release first, and then the PMDG is also on its way. They're going to be coming out fairly soon, and to get ready for it, I thought I'd do a couple flights. With a little catch, we're using FS Crew this time. Reason being is because Flight Factor has or will be introducing, at least that's what they've said, a first officer, a virtual first officer, which you can talk to, similar to FS Crew. And what capabilities this guy has, I have absolutely no idea. Nobody does, and so except for the ones who are programming the software. But from what I've heard and what has been said, it seems like it will be not something basic, nothing basic. It will be a bit more detailed and include a little bit more than than we might think initially. So I'm pretty curious how that's going to be to get ready for the connection between the working together of two people in one cockpit. I'm going to go ahead and use FS Crew today. So I'm very excited. I really do hope Flight Factor, I have faith in Flight Factor that their 777 is going to be great. I really do hope so. But of course, we don't know. With their reputation, it's always a gamble. They make a nice 757, a nice 767, they work pretty well, but they're not accurate in many ways. They do their job, and they look like a 75 or 767, but really, if you really go down into the details, they are missing quite a few of them. Also, if you look at the 777 V2 previews of the cockpit, you can see quite a few switches, levers, and push buttons that just aren't correctly modeled. And the texturing, although high crisp or highly detailed, kind of does not look like the comfortable 777 cockpit that I know. Now you're probably wondering, well, how would I know? Well, I mean, first of all, we all have seen many pictures. Second of all, PMDG is probably the best comparison because they make, I mean, everything they model, even if it's low res like in P3D, is still incredibly accurate. That's their goal. And third, probably the most important one, is I've actually been in the level D simulator of a 777 many times. And since the flight deck in the level D simulator has original cockpit parts, it is pretty safe to say I know what a 777 cockpit looks like. And so far, although it overall looks really nice, there have been a few things that I've seen on the previews that I'm not very happy about. Anyways, we're flying the 777 PMDG, and like I said, we're preparing for the two 777s releasing this year. Hopefully, first quarter, we'll see. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. This is a flight I haven't done yet. We're flying from Narita over to Zurich. It's about a 14 to 15 hour flight, so it's a pretty long flight. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So, taking a look at the outside of the aircraft, we can see that the wheel chocks are in place. The landing gear doors are closed, flight control surfaces are clear, engine thrust reversers are stowed, and we can also see our ground connections. We have the air conditioning cart as well as the GPU connected, and our registration is checked with the flight plan. So we have all that in mind. So when we power up the aircraft, we've got a few things covered. Alright, so the electrical power up done by the captain. Battery comes on. The C1, C2 electrical pumps off, the demand pumps off. Wipers off. Landing gear down, landing gear lever down, alternate flaps is off and off. West ties are switched to auto, and then we can turn on the external power. Alright, so the aircraft is powered up, done all of its self-tests, which means for me that I can continue with the flow. ADRU will come on. Voice recorder info simulator would come on. Some airlines actually test the voice recorder. Since the first officer is normally normally the one that checks the aft overhead, and I'm pretty sure the FSC crew person is not that smart, we're gonna set the bulk to high. We're now gonna check a few systems, engine display, oil quantity, make sure that's sufficient, which it is. Go to status page, verify the hydraulic quantities are sufficient, the crew oxygen is sufficient, and any messages or memos are normal. If we did not have the clock and the GPS would be available at this point, we would check the time in UTC here. We'll check that later on as well. Basically now we're just waiting for the GPU to power up. That's why it's always a good idea just to wait even longer for the aircraft to power up. In the meantime, we're going to go and set the parking brake. You'll see that the pressure is lower than 1000 psi, which is not a good state to be in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Can we pressurize the hydraulics?
Roger, you are clear to pressurize the hydraulics.
Okay. There we go. GPS is available. 2250 UTC. That is checked. So we'll pressurize the right electric demand pump. You can see that the pressure increases. There we go. And we will select it off. We'll verify the fault light illuminates. Brake source will illuminate. There we go. There we go. And we're going to continue with the EFB. So it's got some things that I want to load. So we're going to go ahead and let it load. There we go. Check the ident page. Verify the model type is checked. Engine type, tail ID, in this case not available. GPS time is checked. Date is checked. That's all good. Our nav database is out of date that I just realized about by a day, which is not too bad. We'll just continue. Real world, we'd obviously not allow that. System page, verify the faults, no faults. So that is good to go. Check the logbook, the manuals, make sure everything's there. The first officer will check with me, verify everything. And then once that's all checked, we'll check the part of that is checking the ICAS messages, verify that all of them are normal, which in this case they are. I'm going to go ahead and cancel, and so anything else that pops up should be normal. Do a cabin safety briefing. The first officer would do other couple things that FSC crew does that simulate, for example checking the observer. I mean, we could do that too. And while you do that, you're also supposed to check the pressure drop. You do the pressure drop test, but we're going to do that with our actual oxygen mask here, which is because it's much simpler to navigate. And then we'll see. So we'll catch you momentarily once we do the CDU pre-flight. Alright, so the first officer just started the walk around. She just left, so we're going to go ahead and continue with the FMC programming. I can just find the right key. There we go. So FMC, enter inertial position. Go and do that. Aircraft type is checked. Engine type is checked. AV database has been updated today, so it's not quite right anymore. Position in it. UTC is checked. That's correct. Put the GPS position and paste it. Go to routes. Now we can see RJAA, Zurich, Swiss Air Triple to Alpha. We'll do a route request. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with the pre-flight procedures. We're going to start with the EFIS. QNH is set. What we're also going to set is our minimums for the return of runway 34 left. That would be 339er. Flight director, auto throttle, arm, track, 337, and initial climb, let's say it's going to be 7,000. No ATC clearance, so we're going to set plus 100. This is all checked. Verify the pressure, 1850. You could also do the speaker test, but it's not simulated. It's simulated in the 747 for some reason, but not in this one.
Monitor radar display. Go around. Wind shear ahead.
Checked.
Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead.
Everything else checks out. No V speeds. Toga. Doing a TCAS test, which there should be TCAS off. There it is.
TCAS test.
ISFD is checked. 122.8. That's also checked. That's fine. And then first officer sets the way he wants.
I am ready for the checklist.
Guard frequency on the active, and then ATIS on the right. Transponder set as required. Everything else is good. Pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Flight instrument.
Heading 066. Altimeter 339.
Heading 066. Altimeter 1022. Pre-flight checklist complete.
Alright, so everybody's boarded. We got our final load sheet. We're ready to go pretty much. So let's go ahead and get going. We're going to go ahead and check everything. So 0 fuel weight is 204. That's fine. Fuel 122.2. We requested, let me just check. There it is. We requested 122.2. That's checked. That's perfectly fine. Our final reserves plus alternate is going to be 6.7. That's entered. Go to the thrust limit, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to performance, and we're going to go copy FMC data, calculate. Maximum is 351.5. Our expected takeoff weight is 325, so we're below that. So that's checked. We're going to put in 325,630, and we're going to calculate that. Flaps 5 and 1 is 92.4. Takeoff 1 91.8. Takeoff 2, I don't expect that to work. Nope. So we'll do takeoff 1. We'll calculate optimum. Flaps 5, 39 degrees, 66, 84, 87. We'll plug that in. Takeoff D rate 1, 39 degrees, 92.1, 91.8. That's because of the packs. Takeoff flaps 5 only, 25.9. Slope is slash wet. 1500 on the engine out. We're gonna do 3000 on the acceleration. Bring DP 1 and temperature 2. 66, 84, 87 is checked. 87. On a VNAV can be armed. Or double check the progress page. 14.7. Our flight plan calculated 12.1, so that's checked. Departure briefing, gate, yes, reduce, flaps 5, engine, anti-ice on, NADP 1, 1500.
Ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
Okay, we're at a gate. The taxi route out to the departure runway will be as assigned by ATC.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start the APU. Or turning off. So primary can come off as well. Cockpit to ground. Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Please disconnect the air conditioning cart. Please disconnect the air conditioning cart.
Roger. Disconnecting the air conditioning unit.
Please disconnect the GPU.
Roger. Disconnecting the GPU.
We'll wait for the air conditioning cart to disconnect, and then we'll apply the packs and the recirculation fans. Thanks.
If you need anything, just let me know.
Before start procedure.
Are we cleared to pressurize?
Yes.
Okay.
Cancel ICAS. Cancel ICAS.
I am ready for the checklist. Before start checklist. Flight deck door. Closed and locked. MCP.
V2 187. Track 337. Altitude 7000.
Takeoff speeds.
B1 166. BR 184. V2 187 set.
CDU pre-flight.
Completed. Completed. Completed.
Completed. Trim.
5.2 units, 0 and 0.
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed. Completed.
Before start checklist complete.
Start sequence is 2 then 1.
Check.
Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Anti-ice. Engine anti-ice on. Recall. Checked. Flight controls.
Checked.
Ground equipment.
Clear.
Before taxi checklist complete.
Clear left side. Clear on the left. Clear left side.
Clear right.
Clear left side.
Clear right.
Approaching 3-4 left. On runway 3-4 left.
Takeoff.
Check. Thrust set. Knots.
Checked.
V1.
Gear up.
Climb.
Flaps 1.
Speed check, flaps 1.
Flaps up.
Speed check, flaps up. Engine anti-ice selectors auto.
After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist complete.
Approaching 3, 4.
feet. Approaching minimum.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Minimum.
Landing.
Checked.
$50, $30, $20, $10.
Speed brakes up. Reversers normal. Knots.
4,000 feet remaining.
Manual braking.
Check. Engine anti-ice coming on.
The APU is running. Flight director off, EFP, close the flight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video. Till then, peace.